As a result of the Royal Commission to Aboriginal deaths in custody, there was also this issue around, which we haven't touched on, is the mental health of minority groups and the mental health of people. And I'll give you an example of how, after 40 years, I think I'm still suffering a little bit of mental health problems from something that happened to me. But unless you feel and are and have been discriminated against in some of the most horrific ways, it's difficult to walk in the shoes of people like that. So when I was only a young man of 18, I was still, I'd been up fighting about banning the bomb in the Pacific and all these sorts of things, no war in Vietnam. I'd come across a lot of racism in school, but this one particular thing really worried me, which was this big farmer, about 6'4", jumped on the plane when I was a young man, and he said, looked at me, he said, right in front of me, he said, bloody Abbott, they wouldn't work in an island. And I was intimidated, I was frightened, and it has had a lasting effect on my mental health to this very day. I didn't get up and do anything about that. Plenty of times I have, but that one particular time I didn't, and I've suffered my whole life because of that. So, as well as the technical legal issues, there's this other humanistic issue, which is around well-being and mental health. And I wanted to just respond to that and raise that, because one of the mistakes of the legislation is the interpretation of intimidation, and I think that they've got that incorrect. The new legislation defines intimidation merely as causing physical harm to persons or property. But of course the Macquarie Dictionary defines intimidation as to make timid or inspire with fear, overawe or coward. And that's exactly what that big, huge, redneck, bloody farmer did to me that day. So I just wanted to make those that it is different for all of us how we experience and face discrimination, and of course I totally agree with some of the comments that have been made around the reasonable person test, and how dare someone who's never had and suffered racism try to tell me that it's the same as calling someone with red hair a carrot top, being told that I'm bloody yabbos, they don't work in the 9 months. Not the same at all.